everyone, and how are you? I wanted to do an update on the Ashtead group. Now let's scroll down here and have a look. Scroll down to Ashtead. Remember we placed this trade. So this is the Ashtead group. It's now at £333. If I click on this here. Now remember when we took this trade, I had a take profit of £300 on it. So I risked £100 and I had a take profit of 300. Now when I find stuff that is trending really nicely, like the likes of this, I generally let it run. I generally let them run, let them go, and it's because the idea that this could continue running, this could massively run to the upside. So the idea is to close it with a little bit of profit and then let half it run. Okay, so that's the idea of this. So if I go back here to the investment, and there's the trade, look, 330 quid. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of actually closing the whole trade, I'm going to leave half it running and let half it go. So see the X button here, I'm going to click on that X button. And so just to show you again, there's the trade. I'm going to click on the X button here, and I'm going to go down to close partially, so close only part of this trade. So the idea is I'm going to close half of this trade. So I'm going to click on this here. So we can see here that it's £330 and 62p. It's telling me here that overall I have £1,320 invested, and look, it's closing half of that. So half of that is there or thereabouts, and I click on close trade. Okay, so now look, it says half the position is closed, and look, I also have 165 running. So it means that some of this trade is still running. Okay, so if I go back here, I go back to portfolio. So this means then that half this trade is still running and there's loads of upside on it. So if we can see here, we have a little bit of a horizontal level here. So this may turn back around here, or this may continue. But with the trend there, I would expect this to continue going. It has one rejection. It's now had a second rejection, but I'd expect that to continue going, but it may not. So what I'm going to do is go back to portfolio here, and I'm going to go to close trades. So that's the trades that are opened. That's the pending trades. And if I go to this one here, we can see this is closed trade. So if I go to over the last 30 days, we can see there are the trades that I've closed in the last 30 days. Look, I've PC, so I've part closed Morgan Stanley. I'll show you Morgan Stanley. So I closed at 154 quid. Copper, I jumped out of it because if I hadn't have, it would have stopped me out. Moderna Group, I got out of that at 78 quid. I was expecting a bigger drop on Moderna than it happened, so I'll take a little bit of profit. But in this one, I part close AHT, so which means then there's £165 banked profit. Cannot lose. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the original trade. So I'm going to get AHT again. So Ashtead Group, going to grab that again, scroll down. So here it is now, Ashtead Group, 169. Click on it here. But I'm going to edit the trade up. So if we have a look here, it now says I'm only risking 50 quid. Because I've part closed it. I've closed half of this trade. Now at the bottom here it says it has made me £6.74 for holding on to this trade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the stop loss here. So see the stop loss? I'm going to change that to amount, and I'm also going to change that to plus 20 quid. So which means now I am moving this into plus 20 quid. Update the trade, just go back here. So it means the worst case scenario that this starts to drop. If this starts to drop, it will knock me out at a 20 quid profit. So it means I banked in 165 on the trade I've closed. If this drops down, the worst case scenario, I can win 20 quid. Okay, and that's the beauty of this now. And the trade is updated, which means now if this trade, if I go to the trade itself, if this trade all of a sudden drops down, it means I will get stopped out somewhere around here, somewhere around this level here, underneath this low, which means I will make 20 quid instead of getting stopped out here. So my stop loss has now moved up to there. So this black line, this red line here is my entry, and this is now my stop loss. So my stop loss is now up there, and my entry is now down there. So which means I cannot lose on this particular trade. Now, if I look at the trend, do I expect that to continue growing? Absolutely, and hopefully this continues to run. And the example of that would be, to show you an example that's already there, is Morgan Stanley. Now I have two different trades at Morgan Stanley, so we can see them here. One is at 260 quid and the other one's at 215. Now I part closed these positions at 300 quid. So remember on the, if we go back here and just have a quick look on closed trades, we can see here Morgan Stanley was part closed on the 6th of the 8th. So literally a month ago, and it was £154 up. So if I now go to the other end of this trade, Morgan Stanley, which is here, and that's this one. So this one has now gone up another £62. So if I had the full trade opened, it would have went up £100 and £108. But I'm happy to have that there. And if I click on the trade, look, I have banked in 10 quid. Now I'm going to move this up now to amount, and I'm going to change that to, say, 50 quid. Update. So update the trade. And the same with this one here. If I look at this other one, this one's up 260. And this one's up 65 already. So I'm going to leave that one there. I might actually change that to 100. Amount, change that to 100. So I'm slowly moving my stop loss up, but also allowing the trade enough room to continue moving. And that's the idea. That's the idea. Let these trades run. Let them run, let them go. And it means then the upside is exponential. So we have earnings that are going to start coming out in the next 2 weeks. So the earnings season will be coming out very, very shortly. And if we look at Morgan Stanley, look at the trend on it. There's my entry, the first entry on Morgan Stanley. So that one is now up 260. And this is my second entry, and this one's up 216. So if I had left this one alone and didn't par close it, instead of taking profit at 150 or 300 quid and closing half it, I would be now 520 quid up on this one if I had left it alone. And this one, I'd be 430 quid up if I'd left it alone. But I'm happy to take some risk off the table, have no risk. So at the moment, I have 2 CFDs. I'm looking at, so I have 2 CFDs there. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. I have 3 CFDs. All of them have 0 risk on the table. There's no risk on the table on any of those trades now. They are risk-free trades. The only CFD that actually has a little bit of risk on the table is Aussie 200. And that one there is down £17 at the moment. That's the last CFD trade I took. And if we have a look at the Aussie 200, I'll show you why. So look, bounce, bounce, bounce. Took this trade, bounce, retest. So that's that trade there. So that's the only CFD trade I have that has any risk on the table. And if I go back to investments, click on the trade, we have stop loss of 100 quid, take profit of 300. So the idea now is to let that trade run, and it's going to hit one of them, either my stop loss or my take profit. I hope that answers any questions, because a lot of people have asked me how to manage my trades. How do I let them run? How do I do that? And it's the things with this is just let it run, let it run, let it go, and that's the idea. If you like what you saw, go to henry-ward.co.uk. So there it is there, henry-ward.co.uk. Put it into Google. It's the first one that comes up, or the first one that comes up with trading. click on it, and then this, once it loads up, it gives you access to my free course. So this here is my free course. You can scroll down, there's 12 modules there, there's tests. Make sure you get involved. Now, if you want to jump in on my webinars, on the right hand side there, you see training, click on Trading Academy. Okay, so when you click on that, it will load up how to join now. So there is the Trading Academy, there's what you get, and click on Start Today. And that gets you involved in the Trading Academy. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely day.